The fact that someone would question the legitimacy of something that is so important and so valid, so on an evidence basis supported, is embarrassing. That's an embarrassment.
The NDP leader slamming a petition sponsored by Conservative MP Derek Sloan, calling on Canada to make COVID vaccines optional. The petition says the vaccines have been rushed. There's not enough known about potential adverse effects, and safety protocols have been skipped, adding that this amounts to human experimentation. One epidemiologist says the petition can't be ignored, as it's not just the usual anti-vaxxer crowd.
The proportion of people who are hesitant around this vaccine are not the irrational anti-science type that we usually get around things like the measles vaccine. These are people who have made a fairly defensible argument that this is a new biologic and hasn't been around for a while. This is true.
Epidemiologist Raywat Deonandan says we don't need every Canadian to be vaccinated, so Canada may be able to deal if the over 22,000 petition signers skip the shot. He says we just need enough people to reach herd immunity, a figure he estimates at around 70%. He says some side effects from new vaccines can be expected and other options should be made available.
I have heard some mumblings from nurses and physiotherapy assistants and things like that, that they don't want to be guinea pigs for an untested biologic. And for such people, I think we need to have other options available. Like, if you don't want to take this vaccine, you must submit to regular, daily testing.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister was grilled during question period over Canada's vaccine preparedness. The United Kingdom has approved the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine and released plans on where people can get their shots. Conservatives say Justin Trudeau dragged his feet and was more interested in partnering with Chinese pharma firms rather than securing domestic vaccine production capacity.
This is with regard to a COVID vaccine that's being released to the public tomorrow. I wish we could say that here in Canada. Instead, we have to congratulate our friends in the United Kingdom for getting their act together.
We put all our eggs in as many different baskets as possible, and that's how we have the most diverse portfolio of vaccines and more doses potentially per capita than any other country in the world.
Meanwhile, Goldman Sachs has Canada on a similar vaccine trajectory as the U.S., but ahead of Japan, Australia, and the EU. The investment bank's research division projects that despite vaccine hesitancy, the U.S. and Canada should have around half the population vaccinated by April 2021. In Ottawa, Xiaoli Li, City News.